could feel beauty rising.
Hi, my name is Sue Skasky from Vermont Volunteer Services for Animals Humane Society, and welcome to our show For the Animals. We have a really interesting show today. We have Jana Mason here. She is the director and founder of Heronbrook Haven in Paulette. And you've been on before.
Yes.
You've done animal Reiki.
Yep.
But today we're here to talk about animal medicine.
Yes.
And not the animal medicine where we have Dr. Chris or any of the other veterinarians here. It's a different type of animal medicine. So what is animal medicine?
This is more where they offer things to us.
Okay, the animals.
Yes, in the sense that anything in the world can be medicine. It doesn't have to be a pill. So animals that cross our path, animals that are our pets, animals that come to us in many ways are offering us their medicine. It's the belief that everything carries energy, everything has a soul. So when animals present themselves to us, they bring their medicine to us, and if we can apply that to our lives, it can help us out in many ways.
Okay. Skinny Minnie, my love. Have you met Skinny, my cat?
No, I haven't, but I've heard
She is
about
a
her.
love. I mean, with Tim, your partner, Skinny, well, she doesn't do this with everybody, but with Tim, she'll just lie back in his arms and love to be stroked. But at nighttime, Skinny lately has taken to sleeping not only with me, on my head, across my neck, and just the most comforting little creature you could imagine. I mean, I adore her, but now it seems like she's giving more and more, whether I'm needing it more or she's giving more, she's right there.
Or maybe she's needing it.
Well, I was a little worried about her last night. In fact, her third eyelids were up, so I typed out to a veterinarian friend of mine and didn't hear back until this morning, but I went online and looked, and from what I understand, many things can cause that. But it was gone by the morning, so I felt pretty good about that. But yeah, or maybe she's needing it too. She better not be telling me something.
I don't know. Cats offer us comfort in many ways.
Okay, so how did you start learning about this?
It was quite a while ago, and I was going to have lunch with a friend, and my daughter said to me, "You need to ask her about this because I know she likes this kind of stuff, Mom." So I said, "Okay, I'll ask her." So we had lunch, and the whole conversation was around this type of wonderful stuff. And the next day, I went home and headed out to work, and on the road, I literally had to stop my car because there was a red-tailed hawk that was sitting in a tree, and as soon as I got there, he flew off the tree, flew right in front of me and fanned me his beautiful big red tail, and I had to stop because he just sort of coasted in front of me, and then off he went, and I said, "Okay, I guess I need to find out what all this is about."
Is this a local person?
No. Actually, I had to travel to go have lunch with her, but it was the next day that I had the incident with the hawk. So.
Okay, so what is, I mean, are they cards?
Well, there's cards, there's books, there's a lot of information out there about animals, and specifically animal medicine. One of the ones that's been around for a very long time, actually there's a set of cards which are known as animal medicine cards, which were done by a woman named Jamie Sams, who talks about the animal medicine. And then probably a lot of people have heard of Animal Speak and Animal Wisdom by Ted Andrews.
No? Tell me about that.
Well, it's information on when an animal comes to you, there's a reason that it comes to you. It comes because it's trying to offer you guidance, help, medicine, in the sense that if you can look at how the animal lives, how the animal acts, its environment, what it eats, how it lives its life, those kinds of things that can help you out with things that you're doing, things in your life, health-wise, in a lot of different ways. We have lots of things in the world that can help us out if we're willing to open ourselves up to them and not believe that we're any bigger or any better than they are.
Right.
And sometimes they can come to us because we can help them. You know, maybe there's something that they need to learn or see. On the Animal Reiki show, we had a dog named Ruby, and she came to us, and we have since passed her on to a wonderful family where she's very happy. However, I know she came to us, she taught me many things, but she also came to us so that she could heal, so that she could go be healthy for the little boy that she's gone to live with because he has health problems. So it's give and take both ways.
Okay, so we hear about animal powers, power animals, totem animals, fetishes, messengers, guides. What's the difference?
Not that much.
Okay.
However, there is a little bit. Power animals are believed to be ones who can come to us and be with us basically for more of our life. They're sort of like a support for us.
Are they like my dog or my cat? Or is this like a...
This is more in the spirit sense of the animal, how this animal acts, what this animal does, and the characteristics that this animal has are traits that help you out in your life.
Okay, so would this be along the line of like Indian
Some.
belief? Okay.
Not just Indians, though. It goes back to every culture. The Indians use it very strongly, and that has come out a lot more in recent history. However, this is something that's been around since the beginning of time.
No kidding.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
A lot of those ancient ways are coming back because they do speak of truth and they do work and help us out. So a power animal is one who can offer us its energy, sort of like for our life. The things that I do, you know, I do healing and counseling, teaching all different kinds of stuff, and one of my main power animals is a wolf, which the energy and essence that a wolf carries is of being a pathfinder and a teacher, finding new ways to pass information on to people to help them.
And so different animals have different associations?
Characteristics by the way that they act and live their life, just like people do. As much as we're all the same, we're still all very different too, and animals sort of fit into that too. So you look at, you know, does the animal fly? Does the animal walk? Does, you know, different kinds of things. So, okay, if this animal can run really, really fast, maybe you can run really, really fast, or are you running from things, you know, things like that. So power animals can really teach us a lot about our personality and the way that we handle things. Totem animals and messengers, guides, those can kind of fall more in the same category, where an animal comes to you for a little while, they're there to help you. However, you're there to help them too. They have a life walk just as you do, and they learn and experience things with you just as you learn and experience things with them. You know, and like dog medicine is about loyalty and service. So if you're a service person, you might have a strong connection with dogs. And that could be a power animal, or it could be one that's there to help you while you're serving people.
How do you identify your power animal?
If you have an animal that you've just felt very strongly connected to for most of your life, sometimes you don't even know why, you just really like them. That's a good sense of what it is. There's also, you can do meditations and guided imagery and journey type things to visit and find out what it is.
Interesting.
Yeah, which that's more a little in the Native American lines, but animal medicine and power animals, fetishes, all that stuff goes way, way back. And a fetish is something that's misunderstood. Many times people might say, well, I have a fetish for fish.
I was just going to ask you about that.
You know, and it's their feeling that connection with that animal. A fetish is something that helps us, and when we create something that symbolizes that, that's a fetish. It's a way to honor it and bring it into our lives. It's not really like a foot fetish.
I know.
You know how people talk about fetishes. So it's, you know, it's learning the difference.
I was at the dentist the other day, and they've got a beautiful fish tank, and this fish just came right up when I sat down. And what a beautiful golden fish. And they told me the name, I can't remember.
Right.
But the face on it, I mean, it was just studying me. You know, I'd move, it would move, I'd move this way, put my finger, it would back up, I'd move my finger, it would follow me. It's like, okay, how could people eat you? It's like, geez, I don't get it. But yeah, very,
Yeah.
okay, so Are there different ways this medicine can come to you?
It can come in many ways. You can have many people drive down the road and all of a sudden a deer jumps out in front of them. You know, that's definitely saying, pay attention to me. So it can come in that context. You can just notice them around you all the time. Lately, butterflies won't leave me alone. Not that that's a bad thing, but you know, so that's more of a messenger, and he's here to kind of help me out. If you're looking, watching TV and you're looking in a magazine, or you see a story in the newspaper and you're consistently maybe seeing a lion theme, it's saying, okay, lion's here. Or you can hear people in the grocery store talking and the little kid is pretending to be a lion. You know, they come in many ways.
So what sort of lesson would a lion?
Oh, lions are very masculine. They're connected to the sun, but they offer lessons and gifts about leadership and taking care of the little ones, however, taking care of them in a way that they can move on and learn to take care of themselves. There's a lot to it. And when you look at the different animal medicine, like you said, the fish that you saw the other day was golden, so the color of the animal comes into it. There's a lot of different things that go into it. And one of the things that's important to remember is, with all the information that's out there, and as time goes on there's more and more that comes out, the important thing is, what does it say to you? Because if you have a special connection, say with a dog that you had when you were little, and this is what you always thought about dogs, so if dog comes to you and you instantly go to that thought, that's part of that message, that's part of what it's bringing you. Where if I see dog, I don't have that same experience, so my first thought might be something different. So part of it is also how it speaks to you.
So is that how they help us solve issues or struggles in our life?
We all have guides, messengers. We call them different names, angels. You know, people talk about spirit. There's lots of different things out there. So when animals are a very easy thing for people to identify with. They have a face, they have a personality, and we can attach to that more easily than we can to certain other things. So that's why a lot of people will have experiences with animals. So say you're really struggling with something. Oh, what am I going to do about my job? I really don't like my job, but I can't afford to quit it. Oh, what can I do? You know, so even when you're sitting there talking like this, you're creating energy, and those who are there to help us send signals to us. And a way that that's done is a lot of times with animals, because we do connect to them so easily. So, okay, I'm struggling with my job and I don't know what to do, and I don't know what to do, and then all of a sudden you start seeing butterflies everywhere. Butterflies are about transformation, but they're also about dancing and being free. So, okay, do I feel free in my job? No, I really don't like it. So maybe I need to make a transformation by changing to another job.
When my mother-in-law was getting ready to pass, she said, when you see a butterfly, that'll be me. And of course, now all the monarchs are coming along. And it's like, Adelaide, hi there. I'm going to tell you something that, and I swear I'm not exaggerating at all or making this up. We had a young fawn, and the mother had been killed, and she was in our lower field, and we have deer that are there all the time. And one morning, she was out there. I made sure she was out there at 5 o'clock. It was just starting to get light out. And across from our field, from my husband's shop, the deer started coming up slowly. They didn't see me. So I went off into the woods. And it took, let me tell you, it took about a half hour before they spotted this little guy. And they circled around, not making eye contact at all. Circled around this little creature for about another half hour before one went up and sniffed it and walked away. Two came up and looked at it and walked away. Then the rest of the herd came around and circled. They didn't come up to it. And I swear to you, I'm not making this up. They all walked away, and out from the woods came a deer, and I've never seen this in my life. She had long white silk all over her. I have never in my life seen that. I don't know if she was of this, I don't want to say reality because she was, this was real.
She was there.
Of
yeah.
this plane, but this was a lesson I'll never forget. But she walked up to the little deer, and I'll tell you, this just makes me realize they're not always right. She looked at it and walked away, and they all left the deer, the little fawn, and never came back. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
She needs a family.
Yeah.
But this was something, it wasn't a deer that I believe is alive right now.
Right.
But do you have any thoughts on that?
My
was a wonderful
thought would
feeling.
be, oh yeah, I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was very beautiful to see. Yeah, probably she represented maybe the mother spirit, or there's, when you work with animal medicine, like I said, each animal has like energies and essences, like they have their own spirit that goes along with them. So some people call it like an archetypal energy or something. So she might have represented like the mother deer. I mean, you talk about this long white flowing,
It was just
which white is about purity, beauty, wisdom, you know, those kinds of things. So to me, I would think that she was representative of maybe like a grandmother deer, sort of like the essence of what deer is about. And her coming in, and either she told the little one that it was okay, or she let it know that it was safe. Whatever happened between them, and then she left. And part of it too is that it's not always up to us to understand those things for whatever it was for that group.
it's interesting.
Yeah, just as each person has their life walk, so does each animal. And sometimes we can get caught up in wanting to do something. You know, like you see a baby bird that falls out of the nest and you want to pick it up and take care of it, where if you leave it, the mother knows where it is and it'll come and feed it, you know. So there's a lot of things that we're not meant to interfere in, but just the way that you describe her, I would think that she's sort of like the essence of deer, which a big part of deer medicine is about gentleness with each other and how we walk on the earth, and having faith.
To me, it was, there are guardian angels for animals too.
Oh,
and it was
absolutely.
like, it was what I was saying. I don't know if anybody else has ever seen this before,
Yeah.
but I saw something that
Yeah.
it was very.
Now, do you know the direction that she came out of? Because when we work with animal medicine, if you look at the directions, that helps
She
understand
came
the
out
message.
of the east side of the property. We have evergreens planted all around.
Yeah.
And she came out of the east and walked right to the fawn.
So east is about new beginnings and birth and all of those, you know, those types of energies where the sun rises every morning.
And that's
So-
why when people are buried, they face the east. Right? Really
very
interesting.
cool experience.
It was. It was something I'll never forget.
Well, and you know, and that's like when
We should do a kids' book about this. I'm liking this. Okay, Tim, we've got our next book.
there's a few out there already, but yeah, it's nice to see some that touch on more of what it's about. Yeah.
Okay, how do you understand what the animal is trying to bring you? Is it written down somewhere? I mean, can you go and Google this and find
Oh
it?
yeah, it's all over the internet. There's lots of books out there, and there's lots of different like oracle cards, like the animal medicine cards. And you can, what you look at is, okay, how does this animal live? Does it live by itself? Does it live in a herd? Does it fly? Does it walk? Does it crawl? Does it swim? What direction is the animal coming from? How many babies does it have? How many years does it take it to raise its young? What is the color of the animal? What time of day was it that you saw it? And you start looking into all these different things, and it helps you understand what it's bringing you.
Okay, what about animals in dreams?
Those are real important ones to pay attention to.
Okay.
Because if an animal is coming to you in the dreams, our dreams, and when they come to us in that sense, it's really about that spiritual essence. And in our dreams are basically our soul talking to us to help us out. So much healing, wisdom, guidance. Our dreams are amazing.
I love dreaming.
Oh yeah, so do I. That's one of my
Yeah.
loves, as well as the animal medicine. But so when an animal comes to you in your dreams, it's really important to pay attention to it and maybe research a little bit on that animal. When I started having a lot of different ones come to me in my dreams, it spurred me to look into them a little bit more and understand how they work a little bit more. So if you start processing and looking in books and thinking about what you know about the animal, then you can understand more of what it's trying to tell you. And then as you're looking through and learning different things, you're going to go, oh, that's what
Got
it
it.
is. That's
Light
it.
bulb
Oh,
goes-
and that helps me with that. Thank you.
Right.
You know, so I was working my way through a process, and each piece of the process had different animals that taught different lessons to go along with the process. And I came to a place where one of the animals was a quetzal, which is a South American bird. It's the one with a really long, colorful tail.
You dreamt about that?
Oh, no.
Oh.
I was wondering if I would, because it said actually what was happening was a piece of medicine in some way or another from each animal was coming to me. And I said, I've got you now. How the heck am I ever going to, you know, I'm not going to see a quetzal, and, you know, whatever. So where I was working, a new man started working there, and he was from Brazil, and we were talking one day, and he handed me a coin with a quetzal on it and
No.
gave it to me. I just said, thank you very much.
Okay,
You know,
got it.
So they find a way. They find a way.
Yeah, absolutely.
And one of the main ways is through our dreams. And if you look at what's going on in the dream, is it familiar surroundings for the animal? Is it unfamiliar? You know, and once again, in color. And if a white animal comes to you, especially in a dream, that's very powerful, because that's the key core spirit of that animal that it's offering you. So
The color white.
the color white.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know, we know all these things inside, but we're so taught to doubt, to not open our mind, not to accept. I can remember when I was in college in New Haven, Connecticut, there was a Psychic Research Institute. Mary Pascarella, oh my God, I would just love to be able to track her down. And one of our assignments was to bring a clipping in of a newspaper, seal it in an envelope, and everybody was going to try and pick out what it was.
Yeah.
And at that time I had my boyfriend who was very skeptical. It's like, oh, Sue, do I have to go this? Yes, you have to. So put the envelope up to his head, and Steve, Mary really liked him, but she's like, come on, just give me something. Just the first word that pops into your mind. He's like, she said, anything, just anything. And this went on for about 60 seconds, which really is a long time. Finally, he said, lighthouse. Swear to you,
Oh, yeah.
lighthouse in a little article. Now, granted, it's Connecticut, but still lighthouse.
Yeah.
And she said, see, stop doubting yourself. Don't question, accept.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that's important about animal medicine, is they can help teach us those things, and to open, they're an easy way to open back up to it, because we can identify with them so easily, because we have a natural concern and care for them.
So is there one animal that's more important than another?
No.
Okay, okay.
No, there's some people who believe that, okay, I've got this big, powerful bear totem, so I'm that makes me strong, and this and that, and you've only got the little, peon of an ant and whatever. Well, ants are pretty mighty, and they have a
Yeah.
lot of wonderful medicines. So part of their medicine is, like patience and teamwork and things like that. So there really isn't one that's any more powerful or is more important than any other. If it comes to you, it's important to you.
Is there bad medicine?
No.
Okay.
Sometimes part of, if you can say you have a maybe a osprey come to you, which is an osprey that's an animal that's going to attack another animal. However, it does that to survive. So if when that animal comes to you, you could say, well, am I attacking someone? So you can look at things that we might see as negative or bad, and think of those characteristics of that animal. Like a lot of people don't like wolves because they kill this, they kill that, they kill. But what they're doing is they're taking the weak one out of the herd. You know, that's their job. So what is your job? Are you attacking somebody that's
To
weak? Is
to
there a
protect the
weak
weak
spot
one.
in you? Yeah. Or is there a weak spot in you that you need help fixing? You know, so when you look at those things, play with them and see what really speaks to you, because there really isn't any good or bad. You know, it's how we look at it. And when we can turn it around and offer it to ourselves, it helps us. And if we only, I went for a time, I was only looking at the good side of things. I had enough of that bad stuff. Yes, I'd had enough of that. And however, in doing that, you actually can slow down your progress, because forgetting to look at some of those negative pieces, like, is that animal sassy? Well, maybe you're being too mouthy and sassy. Oh, okay, so maybe I need to tone it down a little bit. So there really isn't any bad medicine. It's more our
All
perspective.
lessons.
Yeah,
Lessons.
yeah.
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 Okay, so how has animal medicine changed your life?
Well,
in less than 60 seconds.
In less than 60 seconds. Well, when I look back at where I was over 10 years ago, I can say, who was that woman?
No
They've
kidding.
opened me up. They've healed my heart. They've helped me in many ways. And I wouldn't be, you know, having here in Brookhaven and doing what I'm doing if it wasn't for that hawk.
Wow.
You know, it really
That's-
started a whole process for me. So it's amazing what it can do.
Animals. Gotta love 'em.
I know.
So is understanding of animal medicine helpful in changing the way animals are treated?
Absolutely, because if we can take a look at animals and the medicine that they offer, how they work, nature is beautiful, and nature is always striving to be in harmony, and animals are included in that, and that includes us. So if we
Which
can,
we are animals
right?
too.
Absolutely, and if we can understand that process and how it all works together, we can all have harmony and stop mistreating each other
And animals.
and animals.
Okay. Thank you so much for an interesting show.
Thank you.
You know what? You've got to come back and talk again. I want to go more into the spiritual,
Okay.
metaphysical of all this.
That would be fun.
Okay, great. Okay, so this was Jana Mason from Heron Brook in Paulette.
Paulette, yeah.
What's your phone number there?
802-325-3880.
We'll put it up there on the screen, and if people want to get a hold of you, is it okay to
Absolutely.
call? And you have a website?
Yes, we do.
HeronBrookhaven.com.
.com.
Okay. And on behalf of For the Animals, I was going to say everything animals. Thank you very much for joining us today, and watch again next week.
At dusk, there came a turning. There was a moment when all was known. You could feel beauty rising on the breeze, the shapes, the stone. And I would ride upon the breeze that shapes the stone, across the sky and beyond, to that place where all is known. When I could fly, when I could fly down that road.